I am here from, oh, that's not a particularly good angle. There we go, that's a bit better. I'm here from sunny Los Cabos, Mexico. Cabo San Lucas, technically. Let's see if we can get this angled up a bit better. I was hoping to go to the lobby today to film. Somebody's sitting in the spot that I wanted. Ugh, frustrating. Yeah, that's a bit better. So yeah, I actually, I made some notes today to chat about, oh, and I haven't put my headphones in. Sorry about that. We shall connect. And I do have some interesting stories to tell you. Specifically about Medano Beach. This is better. Okay. So hopefully that's connected. And cheers. Pina colada. Just reading Howard's comments. My post today was about whether or not you go for the drink of the day or you just go with your go-tos, your regulars. And Howard was saying stands in front of the thing where they can basically make any drink you could ever possibly imagine and then just orders a beer, which is not uncommon. So yeah, kind of want to talk about a couple of things. So drink of the day, yeah. What's your thoughts? Do you go for the drink of the day? Yesterday was a mango margarita, so that's an easy choice. That's an easy yes. But do you go for the drink of the day? And if it's not something you've had before, do you maybe try it just so you can say you've had something a bit different? Or do you stick with what you know? Actually, flip the seat up because I did go for a swim this morning. I don't want to get the seat wet. So yeah, this is sort of week 3, week 3 of Mexico, week 3 of all-inclusive Mexico, and that's challenging, I'd say, to say the least. Yeah, it's a lot of indulgence. The food has been very good. And true to form, we are going to go to the Asian restaurant again at the RIU Palace, Baja California. Um, by far and away, it has been the best Asian restaurant that I've ever been to. Okay, I mean, they don't have sushi, they don't have sashimi, but they've got, gyoza, dim sum, salmon, they have ribs, they have Korean wings, and so much more edamame. It's just been absolutely delicious. And hey, if you're just tuning in, go ahead. Don't be afraid. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're enjoying video. If you're enjoying the view, there you go. It's even better without me. Haha. um, and let me know in the comments. What's your favorite go-to drink when you're on vacation? You're at a beach resort. What do you have? Mango margarita, beer, clammy beer, michelada, pina colada, pina colada. Got one of those. Cheers. They had sangrias the other day with the drink of the day, and they do have quite some interesting things. But everybody always, when they arrive on vacation, always seems to get like mental block. What do you drink? Um, so yeah, let me know what your drink is. Oh, hey Tammy, Aperol Spritz. Okay, well, so interestingly enough, so when Tammy and I were on the Explora Journeys cruise a couple of months ago, which was decadent and fabulous, and I highly recommend. Oh, let me see if I can turn this around. I just spotted some, yeah, there's some rays jumping out there. Just where you watch and see if there's another splash. These crazy things. It's like watching chickens trying to fly. They kind of flap their wings. There they go. Can you see that? If I can make this focus better.
Um, yeah, it's like they jump out of the ocean, flap their wings, and then fall back in. So, okay. They seem to have stopped for the moment, but they've been very active the last couple of days. Oh, of course, turn it. Oh, yeah, there's 3, 4 of them, 5. Sorry, folks. They're shy. I guess that's okay. Seriously, like they're going crazy. There you go. Can you see them just in front of the um just in front of the umbrella? Oh, not the umbrella. What's it called? Parasailer. Yeah, you can see them jumping there. I mean, it's not as clear as it could be. I'll try to get some video of that later. It's pretty cool. So yeah, they're busy out there. Yeah, so Tammy was drinking Aperol spritz when we were on Explorer Journeys, and I always thought it was kind of peachy, whatever. Anyways, I didn't have any. It's not something that you get at all resorts. I don't know why, but it seems to be one of the things of late, Aperol spritz. Anyways, they did have them over at the Sandoz Finisterre, and they do have them here at the RIU. And I did think about having one this morning, but I did not. So sorry, Tammy, to that. I was going to also get a chocolate martini, but I couldn't get a spot that was going to be effective in the hotel lobby. So back we are to our favorite spot, the Italian buffet restaurant over here at the hotel RIU Palace, Cabo San Lucas, is what it is. So, yeah, they do have some good drinks here, that's for sure. Good mix. And like I said, there's about 20 or 30 different drinks listed. They've got big signs right by the bar. So you can get some ideas for um, what you want to drink if you're not sure offhand. Okay, so operational update. We have made the big decision that Wednesdays we are no longer going to do walkarounds because the connectivity just sucks. And it's not fair to you guys to tune in and be chatting about travel. And it's like, uh, yes, the internet connection bounces around. So Wednesdays, we are going to just do travel talk. And then if I'm at another resort, or Tammy's at another resort, or Amanda's at another resort, or Angela's at another resort, then we'll do the walkarounds on another day, an alternate day, uh, if they agree to help us out with these things. So that'll be kind of like a bonus video. So changes on that, trying to keep consistency for 2025, and we'll see how that goes. So I wanted to tell you guys a story about Medano Beach. So I'll show you. I'm sort of charging at the same time so I don't go down in power. The other day, do you guys get battery envy? I do. And the other day, I was literally down to 5%. And that's pretty outrageous because I get down to like 40%. If I'm below 50, I'm like, I kind of feel like I need to charge. But yeah, I got down to like 5% and I was not a happy camper. All right, I want to show you the beach. Okay, so from as far as you can walk down that way to on this post to the opening of the marina, which would be um, yeah, that sort of blocky square building down at the end, right about there. Hard to see it. Um, and so all of this is Medano Beach, technically. You'll notice right in front of me, there is a red flag. You'll notice there is somebody who is looking like they're planning on swimming in the ocean. It's a bit better waves today, but there's been a few that have been huge. And here, the thing is, there's a lot of rogue waves. So, like you can see this building, this waves building out here. What you can't see is because there's quite a drop off, is the waves come in and they crash. It's not too bad today. You can see the wave rolling in, rolling, and up it goes. Undertow cuts in, and then out it goes again. But you have to watch out because you see how far up the water is coming down there. Well, we walked down to, well, ironically, Medano Beach the other day, and it's mostly fine. I mean, you can walk along here, no problem. Walking down further there, you can see where all the people are. That's pretty much the start of Medano Beach. Actually, over in front of the pink building is the Pueblo Bonita Rose, and then further along is the other Pueblo Bonita. I forget what that one's called. And that's basically the start of Medano Beach, the swimmable area of Medano Beach. It's where you're going to find the office, mango deck, which is a lot of fun, and that kind of thing. And you can swim there. But if you want to walk there, it is possible. You can walk on the road, or if you walk over here, and I've got lots of comments, and I'll comment in a second on these. If you walk down past the next hotel to us, which is the Via del Palmar, you can see it's quite a steep drop off. And it's not that far to walk. But, anyways, we decided to walk the other day. And because it's only from here about 20 minutes to the swimmable area of Medano Beach. But as we were walking along, one of the waves came up and caught me about mid body. And then going a little bit further, it was quite the experience. I wrote about it, sent it to Tammy, and then I got Chat GPT to rewrite it. And it's actually even a more hilarious version. But the long and the short of it is, walking along, the road wave hit. There was another one coming up, and the guys who are normally selling like bracelets and stuff like that, they were not yelling like "come and buy my stuff." It was run because there was another bigger wave coming up, and it was not good. So I ran for my life. My flip flops had dug into the sand on the first one, and as ChatGPT said, I dug them out like a treasure from Indiana Jones, and I ran with all my might to get to this stairway, which was partway along to get to where there was some safety. And I could see the wave coming in. I knew it wasn't going to make it. And fortunately, it wasn't a big wave, but it was, big enough. And it hit. So I was at the wall, and the wave came up, it hit the wall, came over top, sandy, salty water everywhere, sand where it shouldn't be, salt caked everywhere. My phone luckily didn't come out of my pocket. My earbuds were in my zipped closed pocket, thankfully, and those didn't go missing. But everything got soaked, everything got covered in salty water. I think there's still some sand in my phone, so Apple Care might have to be invoked when I get back home. But yeah, so it's dodgy. That said, I mean, it's like a 25-minute walk if you want to go that way. So if you don't mind risking it, and only add only if the waves are calmer, would I chance it. Otherwise, you can walk on the road. There's a little service road that goes between here and the Via La Estancia resorts. And so to walk into town is about 40 minutes, or you can walk down the main drive and get an Uber, and that costs you $5. So that leads me to my next topic. Oh, go back and see these comments. Okay, Andy's saying he's coming to the RIU Cabo in June. Excellent. Oh, okay. Good. And I've got more videos coming out as well. So stay tuned for those. I think I did all the buffets for here and Baja California. I still have to post the videos of the buffets for the Santa Fe. Dean will be looking forward to that. And then I've got full walkthrough videos. So stay tuned for those. Um, what else? So yeah, oh, you're gonna have a good time, Andy, for sure, for sure. Dean says the beer was a bit flat earlier. Caesar time now. Have a margarita for Brett later. Okay, something raised. Oh, the race that I saw. Yeah, Dean will be happy to hear that. Brett will be happy to hear that Dean's having a margarita. Mobula raise. Yes. Yeah, they're pretty amazing. They're pretty active. Like I said, they look sort of like chickens trying to fly. Flop, 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 flop. Kudos for trying, right? Um, so yeah, what did I want to say to that? Yeah, talking about the Ubers and taxis. So we ran into a couple at the bar at the lobby the other day. And we were chatting with them and where are you from, blah blah blah. And then we went into town yesterday on the road. We walked and we did the glass boat tour. Guys, I highly recommend it. It's called Enva Tours, ENVA Tours. And pro tip, it's 3 Enva Tours, but I gotta do this. If you book it here, it's $39 US per person. And it's about an hour's long journey. You go on a clear boat, you go out to the Pelican Beach, you go to Lovers Beach, you go past Lovers Beach. At Pelican Beach, you go and you stop and you can see the fish, which are incredibly colorful. And I'll do a totally separate video on that. So stay tuned. And then you go out to the arch and because it's clear boat. So the whole thing is really the guy's got a GoPro and he's taking photos. And the whole thing is they want to sell you the pictures afterwards. We didn't stick around because we took photos for ourselves. But if you wanted, you could pay for their photos. And we saw some from the previous tour who had just come back in and they looked good. I mean, it's so like unimaginable the photos. And I'll post one in a community post this afternoon just so you can see sort of what it looks like. But it's absolutely stunning. But instead of paying $39 US, I booked it on Viator, Viator. And I'm logged into the .ca site. So Canadian dollars, I spent $32 per person for the tour instead of 39 US. Not quite half price, but close enough. So highly recommend that. And I would actually stick around and take a look at their photos because they're used to it. They know the angles, that kind of thing. And the whole idea is they try to do it with the arch in the background. So you crawl up to the bow of the boat, and it's this it's like completely glass or acrylic. So it's a pretty cool tour, especially seeing the fish like right below your feet. There are other glass bottom boat tours which are like kind of skanky wood kind of boats. Just look, saltwater wear and tear, unless you're spending big bucks to maintain them, they're gonna look a bit worn out after probably a week. Whereas the glass boat looks pretty pristine and amazing. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. But as I said, we were going into town to do that. And then, of course, we went to Unamas afterwards for a beer. And that's one of the cheapest places you can go for a beer. It's kind of tucked around the corner from the Marina, but it's 40 pesos for a Dos Equis or Modelo, Tecate. So it's worth it. And the guys that we were chatting with at the RIU Palace Cabo San Lucas lobby, they were there. And so we were chatting with them and they decided they were going to head back to the hotel. Because of course we have these distinctive bracelets, right? So if you're wearing gold, that means you're staying at the Baja. If you're wearing and this is current colors, if you're wearing sort of pale pinky, silvery white, that means you're staying here at the Cabo San Lucas. And if you're wearing a red one, it means you're at the Santa Fe. And so they were heading back to the hotel, and I ever so rudely said, "How are you getting there?" And he said, "Oh, we're just going to get a taxi. We're not going to walk. It's too far. We're just going to get a taxi. It's only $17." And I said, like, "Why don't you take an Uber?" And he said that the guy at the front desk, or the bell desk, whatever, had said, "Oh no, it's safer and cheaper to just get a taxi, and they can't pick you up and they can't get to you at the gate," which is true for pickup. So of course, now the only place that's changed this is Cancun, which is great. Like if you're staying at the Hyatt Vivid, you can actually call an Uber right to the front gate, to the front lobby, and they will drive through the gate. They will come and pick you up. Whereas most other cities, most other resorts, they won't allow that. You have to walk down to the gate, the security checkpoint. But if they're dropping you off, then they can drop you off at the hotel right at the lobby. So it's not like a crazy walk after you drive all that way. So instead of spending $17, they took an Uber and spent $5. So way more money for tipping for more drinks or whatever, taking another excursion. So much better option. That's definitely something to consider. We also saw a lot of other RIU guests at other hotels. There seems to be a lot of the RIU people are going out and about and exploring, which is good. I think when the rates are good at the hotel, you feel like you don't mind going out and splurging. I just want to show you guys this. Okay, the mall's going to be opening soon. So here comes the shop owners hauling in all their goods, taking the long trek to set up shop right out front. It's not air conditioned, but you get everything you can imagine, including weed blow, if that's your thing. Um, yeah, so it was interesting seeing lots of different RIU folks at the different bars. We saw them at the Tiki Bar and also at Unamas, and a few other places. But it's just nice to get out and chat with people. And also, going to Unamas, there's the regulars there, Gina, Fernando, Diego, Miguel, and there's a few others that work there on a regular basis. I don't know their names. But just interesting chatting with them. And especially one of the things that came up was Gina was talking about getting water, like drinking water delivered, and was saying how, there's so much expansion here in the Cabos area, in the corridor as well as in Cabo San Lucas and in San Jose del Cabo. And one could really argue that they do need more hotel options here in Cabo San Lucas, especially sort of family friendly and especially sort of reasonably priced. And in San Jose del Cabo, they could use some that are a little bit more similar quality to like the Hyatt Ziva. There are some available. There's the Hyatt Ziva available, but everything else is kind of, the Holiday Inn. There's Royal Solaris, Royal Decameron, I think it is. I mean, they're fine, but they're much more like this is your first vacation, all inclusive, or you're on a budget, a strict budget. So there definitely could be more use for some new hotels in that area. But what her point was is, as they continue to expand, and especially as they continue to have people moving here, and there's been a big influx of people coming to live in Cabo San Lucas or into Los Cabos area. So it's a draw on the resources, draw on the water, draw on the electricity, that kind of thing. And one would assume that the developers are taking that into account. But also when you consider the resorts, you've got a big resort complex like the RIU here, where we've got 3 major hotels combined is probably 2,700 rooms total for all 3 properties. The RIU Santa Fe is 1,412 rooms. The RIU Palace Spa California is, I think, 600, and the this one here is, I think, 670 or 690. I forget which. So if they were going to build a new complex like this, first and foremost, with the water, I think it sounds like each resort has to have its own desalinization system where they have the water that they can purify or desalinate. And also, what Gina suggested is, what if they sponsored a community? So you have this new resort. Let's say the RIU decides, there's this empty lot just on the east side of the resort, right? So this empty land not being used for anything. So let's say they buy that and they decide to create what they call it, RIU Palace Medano. Let's call it that. But they say that part of the revenues or the profits from that resort are going to go into the local community. So it's going to go towards the infrastructure. They're going to create some desalinization where they're going to have water for the community, maybe a system whereby it doesn't necessarily have to be the resort that's doing it, like goods for the local schools, school supplies, that kind of thing. I think a lot of tourists, and this is a tourist community, so this is, although it's largely based on fishing, but not unlike Cancun. I've talked about this before. This whole area was largely developed for tourism back in the 70s, same as Cancun. So I think that a lot of people would be quite happy to contribute. So comment below. What do you think? Am I missing any comments? Um, if if you had the choice between two resorts and one resort had a whole program going where they were helping out the community, accepting donations, whether it's used clothing or um, money towards groceries for local people or school supplies, that kind of thing. If you had a choice between staying at a resort that had that as an opportunity, would you stay there or would you stay at a regular hotel where, and it's not to say that one is not going to be a drinky kind of, okay, now it's beach volleyball, now it's pool volleyball, now it's crazy games at the pool, and now it's karaoke night, all the usual activities. But if it also had sort of a giving back to the community plan, would you be more inclined to stay there? And if you're management from the RIU and you're watching this, are you doing this? Are you considering this? I know a lot of the resorts actually already do have programs in place like this, and a lot of times they don't talk about it. They don't sort of toot their horn about what they do. But sometimes they're actually really incredibly charitable. We just don't hear about it. And I think that it's worth knowing because I think a lot of people would rather support um, a resort that's more of a giving back sort of scenario. I would. I know I would. And I do like it when a resort has bins for like donated clothing and stuff. Sometimes you take stuff on vacation that it's vacation clothes and you don't necessarily want to bring it back. Or you bought a few extra things and you don't have space in your bags. So you need to offload some stuff. Um, why not? Or you've got a fancy, special dress that you wear for maybe a theme night or a special dress up night. But once you've worn it a few times, it's like, been there, done that. Uh, Ladies will understand. This guys probably won't. No offense. Um, but yeah, sometimes it's it's in really like new condition, but you just want to you're not going to wear it again. So it would be cool to have a program like that, I think. But let me know if you agree or disagree. So tomorrow is go home day, which I'm actually okay with. The last 3 or 4 days have been really, really hot. I mean, I think yesterday it got up to 35, which would be 90, in low 90s, I think, Fahrenheit. Help me out if anyone can do the conversion on that. But yeah, it's hot. It kind of sucks all the energy out of you. So, but it's nice to be in the pool and having those floaties is amazing. I did do a video about trip prep and I did get one floaty thing from Dollarama. It was $4.75 Canadian. which is about $3.50 or $3 American. Epic fail, epic fail. Don't no. I mean, like truly, sometimes you say you get what you pay for. Well, that wasn't like a hidden deal. That was got what I paid for within about 45 minutes. I did a video on it and I really wanted to use that. Was it Ren and Stimpy or something? The little thing where it's like 1 hour later and show that it was kind of all squished up and not so good. Oh, who's this? Dean saying 35 is 95. Yeah, I believe it. Hot, hot. It's okay when there's a breeze, but a couple days ago there was literally like no breeze. It's like hot. Um, but yeah, the Dollarama float, that was a fail. Normally I buy them from Amazon, the ones where it's like you have the blow up thing on one end and on the other end, and in between it's like a mesh raft, and you can sit in it sort of like a chair. I bought a 2-pack of those from Temu for like it was $13. And I normally buy them from Amazon and they're about usually 24, $25 for two, sometimes $15 just for one. And I'm gonna say that Temu for the win. It's a solid quality unit and yeah, well worth the money. So if you're going on vacation and you want to order some, um, Amazon sure or Temu, give it a try. So yeah, definitely enjoying that. And it's just nice, like floating in the pool. You can stay in there for hours. Behind me, there's a volleyball net, which they will water down. The sand isn't too hot, but it can be. Um, and so they usually they hose it down for quite a bit before before the people go out to play, and so that it's nice and cool on the feet. But it's been fun watching them play. Some been really good volleyball players. It's kind of interesting watching them have a bit of a rally. So, but yeah, otherwise, it's been a great 2 or 3, well, almost 3 weeks. I'm looking forward to going home though. What do you miss most about your vacation? About like, what do you look forward to most about going home? For me, I think, well, space. Okay, space is going to be a thing because in a hotel room, which honestly, like our hotel room here isn't huge, but it's like when Tammy and I've been talking about going on a cruise, and honestly, like the hotel room that we have here is probably twice as big as a cruise cabin. Um, which is fine if you're sitting out on the deck, but when you're in the room, it's kind of like I feel like a sardine. Um, so it'll be nice to have the space, and I don't mind the beds here at the RIU, um, but it's just nice to get back to your own pillow, your own bed, that kind of thing. And also, just that feeling of like I'm obligated to go out and be in the sun, and maybe I just want to watch TV one day. Maybe I'll go home and have a Netflix day because I'm so tired from vacationing. But I have been doing lots of steps. I think I got in close to 15,000 yesterday, maybe more. And today I'm at, oh, Tammy says she misses her dogs. Yeah, yeah. Um, Today I'm already at 5,000 because I walked around and did videos of the 3 different resorts just to make sure I haven't missed anything for you. And yeah, I think I'm kind of getting a little bit more organized about the videos. So got everything. I've got comparison prices for you for like hotel gift store prices for suntan lotion versus, like I said last week, you could walk across the highway. No, maybe I didn't. Maybe we hadn't done it yet. You can walk across the highway to the Walmart and get suntan lotion if you need. It's cheap as chips. I think there's like 200 or 300 pesos for suntan lotion. So about 10 or $15 American uh, versus here at the hotel where it's considerably more. Like we're talking 30, $40, depending on what exactly you're looking for. The spray stuff, the aerosol, That's always the most expensive. So if you ever find a deal for it at home, that's the way to go. Um, just stock up on it. It doesn't mean you're gonna have to check a bag, but oh, well, difficult times, right? So if you don't have any questions, I think I'm gonna give this a wrap. I'm gonna finish my pina colada, and I'm either gonna head to that pool, the one you can see behind me there, or that pool there. I can't decide quite which, but the pool's calling. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we'll be doing a wrap up next Wednesday, as well as I've got some info from Angelo from his travels, and also from Amanda. Geez, where's she been? She was at the Iberostar in the Dominican, and that was a surprise for her, an unexpected surprise. And she also was at the Wyndham, and now she's cruising to Alaska. So we'll hear all about that. And those will be in video formats as well, so a little bit more concise for you. And then we'll be doing more videos coming this weekend, so stay tuned for those. So thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already done so, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost anything. And it really does help out the channel. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great week. And we will see you next Wednesday. Happy travels, everybody. Bye for now.